together, right? So we'll just do that first. And tell me some things that you can't do together, right? So we'll start here. Multitask. First, just if you know, so do I have to define multitasking first? No. No, okay. So tell me some things that you can do together. You can multitask.
Go wash TV and fold laundry.
Okay, right? That you can do that. What can you? You thinking? Anyone?
Do my hair and read a book.
Do your hair and read a book? Anyone else? Cooking and washing the dishes. That's a very good one. And that's actually, my aunt always taught me when I remember like, you know, every time my aunt cooks, as she cooks, the pot is dirty, she cleans it, she washes it. So I took up the habit. So as I cook, my kitchen is always clean. So I remember one time this lady visited our house and she was like, wow, you're so neat. And in my mind, I didn't think why she asked. I'm like, why do you say that? She says, because look, you're cooking and everything is so spotless. But it was something that my aunt taught me. So that's a very good way, that's a good practice, right? Because it's a horrible thing. After you're done cooking, depending on how much cooking you're doing, it's exhausting afterwards. The amount of time you stood and cut and do this and flip and fry and whatever. And then afterwards to stand and clean the whole kitchen, whether there were like things that splattered on the stove or the sink or the counter or the things you were using, it's like frustrating to then stand. A lot of parents are like, okay, I do the cooking, so you do the cleaning, right? I'm not like that. My stepmom was like that. But anyway, so I usually do it as I go along. And in a jiffy, everything is clean because as you're cooking, you're only dirtying one or two things at a time. But if you're done cooking, you have 10 things that are dirty that you're not going to feel like cleaning up. So it's a very good habit as you cook. When you get older, and even if you're helping mommy in the kitchen, right? And how many people help mom and dad cook?
I do
Sometimes, right? So it's a good habit. Never. This one here.
I do it
Every time. So it's a good habit, right? It's a good habit. While you're helping mom and dad cook, you also help them clean, right? If something spills, you can clean it up for them, right? That way, once all the cooking is done, you don't have to get stuck, or mom and dad doesn't have to get stuck doing all that work, right? After they've been exhausted from the cooking. All right, so that's a very good one. All right, so now tell me things that you cannot do together. And I want to hear one thing in particular, right? The person who tells me that thing, I will definitely buy you icy tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay, so let me see. Elijah's first, because he hasn't been here. That's a good one, but that's not the one I was looking for. But that is a very good one.
Playing with matches.
No, I said two things you're not supposed to do at once.
One,
Yeah, so go ahead.
cooking and watching TV.
That's not the one I'm looking for.
Eating your tummy.
That's not the one I'm looking for. These are good ones, but they're not the ones I'm looking for. And probably none of you are going to say it. I know it, because like most of you do this. I'm not going to give you a hint, because I want to keep my money. No?
Like when I'm holding your tummy.
Okay, well, that's a good one, Cecil. I might give you half a nice for that one. He said, being on his phone while I'm talking. Go ahead. When you're
Walking outside.
This one.
she was close.
What did you say?
This watch TV while you're doing your homework.
Give me 5 now. Bam, I need one more now. Another one. So she gets nicer tomorrow. She says, watching television while you're doing your homework. I need one more. I know, I hear. I do that every day. I hear that.
It works.
It does not work.
Yes, it does. I do it.
Elijah. Does it, Elijah? Give me 5. Thank you. Isaiah, sorry, Isaiah. He said it does not work. Give me the other one. The other one. Shh. watching television, right? Because people are usually more distracted by the television while they do their homework, but they think as they listen to music, it's not distracting. Okay, so let's get into that bit.
Wait. I got
So he doesn't get the right because Martha said it. Sorry.
Okay.
Certain people are different. Some people, when you actually listen to music and do your work, it's better for them because sometimes they daydream. Some people daydream instead of
Okay,
music.
let me tell you one thing, right? So everyone knows that I'm a nurse, right? So that's kind of like being a little bit of a scientist. Only because I did a lot of sciences while I was in school. Okay? Alright, so do you know what music stimulates your brain? What kind of music stimulates your brain? It depends on the music. Who said it?
I said classic.
Okay, well sorry, I don't know which one we had. Okay, how about I give you a whole high five? There you go. High five. Thank you. How many of you listen to classical music while you do your homework? Relaxing music. I wonder what is relaxing music? I really doubt that you guys listen to Chopin and what is it, Mozart and Beethoven and Beethoven and Wagner. You know that why are you doing your homework? Listen, a lot of people think that's good music, but that is because here's why, right? Why? Listen, shh. Listen, while someone is talking, right? See, you see, I'm talking right now. You are only receiving only about 60%, if not less, of what I said. Some of what I said went into one ear and out the other. It's not your fault. It's just how your brain works. Meaning your brain does not process all the information that it receives at one time, right? That's why for you to really understand something, you have to see it repeatedly. So that each time you see a little bit more of it until it sticks, right? So then if now you're doing your homework and all of that information is not being received, just because that's how your brain works, can you imagine how much less of it you're receiving if you're doing both your homework and trying to watch television, or doing your homework and trying to listen to someone else talk? How much of that homework do you think is going to process? I'm not saying nothing at all will process, because your brain cannot help receive information, because that's what it does, right? So I'm talking now, you will remember some of the words I say just because that's how your brain works. Not because you want to, and sometimes not because you're listening. How about this? How many of you have been like almost half asleep? Like you're falling asleep, but you haven't fallen asleep. And someone is talking to you, right? You hear the words, but then when I ask you, what did I say? All of what I said is gone in that instant I asked you, right? How many has that happened to? Twice. All the time it happens to me too. It's because your brain, it hears things, right? But the listening process takes effort. It takes work. And you cannot do that work. You cannot do that work if you're not paying attention, right? So that's why if you are smart and you're doing well in school while you're watching television and doing your homework, or while you're listening to music and doing your homework, that means you could be 10 times smarter if you did not do it. Can you imagine how much smarter that is? 10 times, right? And it's the same thing as those people. Like, how many of you have heard people say Chinese people are brilliant? Like, they're smarter than everyone. Like, they always say Chinese people are smart. Do you know why that is?
Where are you going? Because they have
Not
strict
because
schools?
a lot of them, their parents do not allow them to watch television at certain times, right? When they're doing homework, right? When it's school nights, they don't do that. They don't watch TV, right? Weekends, yes. So I was the same way. Like, I was not allowed television on weekdays. I was allowed one show, right? And one show, and on the weekends a little bit more, right? But like school nights, no TV. And when I got to college, I did the same thing so that I can maintain my grades. And that's how, like, a lot of the things that I remember, like right now I'm in school, I'm a nurse, but I can teach nursing because I learned it that well that I can teach it. So my point is this: if you think you're smart now, stop television and stop doing your homework with the music. And you'll see how much smarter, how much more you will remember, and how much more you can do. I'm coming.
Like, see how people talk on the TV? Is it the same thing as in like your home and then living in a Haitian household? Somebody's always on the phone.
Exactly. Well, in my house, no. In my house, no. I know. And that's true because like it is a bit hard. I'm sorry for that, and that is true. It's hard to do your homework because some people are not considerate. My aunt is a wonderful, wonderful parent. Like she really was considerate. Like I had my own room where I could I roomed with my grandma for a time, and so but my grandma was really quiet. So they allowed me to do my homework. My food was given to me. I didn't have to I was really pampered. So I'm privileged in that way, and a lot of kids are. But those of you who are not, it's still doable, right? Because I'm sure there are certain times in the day where it's a little more quiet than others, right? And it's not like constantly that they're talking. And then there are things that it is constantly.
Yes, it's
all the time.
I have a question.
Johnny had his hand up for a long time.
First, there's two reasons why I listen to music while I'm doing my homework.
Okay.
Number one, there's kids who like to argue a lot.
Johnny and
My dad
And then
loves
Sephora.
talking, and my mom, on the phone for an hour.
No, it's not even an hour. How does a 5-minute conversation?
Okay. So right, John. Johnny's talking now.
Or I start daydreaming, and then after 20 minutes, I'm like, I still have to do my homework
Okay.
or fall asleep.
So that's why you don't watch TV and listen to music
I
while
just
you.
listen to music because I can't watch TV because I get distracted by TV.
Okay. So you don't get distracted by the music.
No.
So you don't. So those of you who watch.
I don't
Wait. Wait. So is there not a time when you're watching? Yes. There is not a time while you listen to music that you feel like you pause to listen to the music. Be honest. Right? When the music is at the point where that lyric is your favorite, do you not tend to bop a bit?
Yeah.
Right? Do you not tend to move a bit? So do you think that's not taking from that activity of the brain where you should be concentrating on your work? No, and you guys, listen. It's one thing about me you will learn. I'm always honest. If as we talk about things, you find that your ways are better, you will change my mind. But I want you to also realize what I'm saying, and if you find my ways make sense, to try them, right? Because it does make sense that if you're so into the music that you love it, and you're bopping, and you're nodding, you're gonna pause on the homework for a bit and be like, let me enjoy this tune right here, just a minute. Okay? And then you continue with the work. So let me tell you why I know these things. When I was your age, I loved to read. When I tell you love. So what I would do is this. I would have a math homework or reading homework, whatever. What I would do like 5 math problems and read a chapter in my book. And I would do 5 math problems and do a chapter in my book, right? That was distracting. As much as reading is good, it was not good for me. One of my worst subjects, and you kids in the church know that, is spelling. I am horrible at spelling. You know that. And the reason why is because when I was your age, I did not apply myself to do my spelling words. I did not memorize them. I did not study. So now as an adult, as old as I am, luckily I am a avid reader, which means I read a lot. So I know a lot of words. So if I have a big word that I want to say, like let's say I want to use efficacy, right? I know what efficacy is, but I might not know how to spell it just because I'm not a good speller. It's not funny. That's not funny because you're laughing at me, right? I need you to sit up first, and I need you to stop laughing, right? It's not